We're all over, but we're just like spitting fire out here in this car.
Start, 2, 1, boost ignition, and liftoff. Very little discovery returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond.
I have the chance to have an amazing guest today. It is someone who shifted a lot of things into my life. It is someone who changed my perspective on so much things, and I'm so grateful for his presence, for his example every day. And I have him right now just next to me. Brother, what's up, man? What's up, Nick? So glad to be here with you. I wanted to make a creative interview with you. So it's like your first carpool interview, right?
Yeah, this is my first carpool interview.
Oh man. First of all, what do you think about the setup?
I like it.
Yeah,
I think
man.
it's cool. Good lighting, and it's definitely a different environment, right? The picture in the back.
I heard in a podcast you were talking about being a shifter, you know? So what being a shifter means for you?
Being a shifter for me is, you know, when as a speaker,
Yep.
and like when I'm up on stage, like I want to create longevity change. Like I want to create long-lasting change. Like I don't want people to be like pumped up for a couple minutes and then be like, you know,
Yeah.
go back to other ways. So like me as a shifter, like my goal, like I always tell people, like I want to motivate and I want to inspire you. That's great. But I want to shift your perspective and make you walk outside of that door looking at life differently. And that's because that's what life is. Life is all perspective. Life is all the way you look at it. You know, the lens you look at life, it's like everything is just perspective and the way you look at it and the meaning you attach behind things. So my goal is to just give people my life story, the things I've been through, and shift their perspective, and maybe they realize that they could do things that they didn't think they could do, or empower them and you know, show them that like the most of the things that are holding them back are their limiting beliefs, their mindsets, the way they've been primed from, you know, early childhood and their environment. That's what I mean as a shifter, is just like I want long lasting change. Like I want to shift people's perspective and make them, you know, live life differently.
And why is that important for you to impact people and change their perspective, you know?
I feel like there are so many people out there struggling. You know, maybe they aren't exposed to the right people, the right perspectives, so we only know what we know. So as human beings, we only know what we've been through. We only know what, you know, the people we know around us. We only know what we know, what we've seen. And so if someone, say for example, is a kid, and you know, they had everything handed to them, they may not see the perspective of like, oh wow, there's people that have it less than me that are doing more than me, maybe I should pick it up. Like it's just like, it's important for me because, you know, the majority of people, like, they don't really like life. They struggle with it. They struggle to find their passion or their whys, or they don't think that they're worthy enough, smart enough, pretty enough. There's just like we're a society that is handicapped.
Yep.
We're basically a society that's crippled by limiting beliefs, and you know, I want to show people, like, regardless of what hand life has dealt you with, whether you think the hand's good or bad, like we have one life, and we have to play that hand to the best of our ability. And so if someone could see someone with a different situation that may have different challenges, trials, and tribulations, that they could be like, wow, maybe the things that I'm complaining about aren't really problems, or you know, maybe, you know, I could be a little bit comfortable in my skin or confident in my body because Nick's doing it. I want people to see something that they've never seen before, so they can realize the power they have within them.
Oh man, that's so powerful. Do you realize how powerful your example is? Like for so many people, I mean?
I don't, you know, I get a little glimpse sometimes, you know, for example, you guys doing what you did and the impact that had on you guys, but it's weird, you know. It's my story, and it's me talking about me, and you know, as a speaker, I'm always, when I'm up on stage, it's not about me. So like, it's always talking about my story, but how they can relate and how can they implement what I'm saying into their lives. But it's just like, sometimes I'm on stage and I forget to tell people that I drive a car, because to me it's just like, I drive a car, but to everyone else it's like kid with no legs, a car. To me it's just me. And so through, you know, us being on tour and speaking, I've you know, realized that it does have a change, and you know, from people from all different walks of life. Like this is changing people's lives all over. I mean, I had a 7-year-old guy come up to me the other day, and at the end of my event, and was like, "I'll never think the same."
7
You know,
years.
He's been alive 70 years old, and he's been thinking a certain way. He's 70 years old, and he's like, you know, I'm not gonna think the same way. He's like, all these speakers, you know, they were great, but like, you're why I came here. I didn't even know you were gonna be here, but what you said was the one thing that moved me this entire event. And I'm like, you know, it's just like crazy that
powerful.
It's crazy to see the power behind it, right? It's crazy to see that it has that ability. So I think I look at myself as like, I'm a superhero, like, you know, I don't really know the power of what I have, but I'm getting better at using it. And I'm getting better at, you know, using that superpower to show people what their superpowers are. And
First class Emirates is how I fly.
Do you feel that this is your mission?
I feel like, especially with the day and age I'm born, like if I really like come out of my body and I analyze everything that's going on in life, right? Like the fact that we're humans, the fact that we're alive right now is wild. And the fact that I beat that 30% chance to live is wild. And the fact that if I was born 100 years ago, that they would have threw me off a cliff in like the Spartan Wars, like, you know, like just to realize that I was born in the perfect time is very weird. And as in the perfect time, I mean where they weren't throwing disabled kids off cliffs and you know, doing reckless things, and I mean, still in 1996 they were institutionalizing disabled kids. They were you know, aborting them, and you know, maybe the doctors tried to get my parents to do that. But just when I really come out of my body and I realize like the time I'm born, I feel that the world is so messed up right now that like I was put on here because when I was turned, you know, a 22-year-old man, that the world would be where it is, and they need someone like Nick.
Man. Exactly.
They would need someone like Nick to be like, yo, like, what are you guys doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, you know, what the F? Like, what are we doing? You know, and so I feel like I've been put on the earth at, you know, the right time. The right time, especially in all industries, you know, like the modeling industry. Right now they're getting into, you know, letting people that are a little bit different into the mainstream light. And I just feel like everything was just like put in the right place at the right time. It's really weird.
When you got the phone call from the New York Fashion Week guys, like telling you, hey, you're going to do the New York Fashion Week, what went through your mind?
It's wild because my modeling team, Gianna, Nicole Media, Gianna and Joseph, we met them at an event. So I spoke at an event and they were like, oh my God, like they just said they were so moved that every inch of their body was like, we need to go talk to Nick, we need to go talk to this guy. So they came backstage and were like, hey, we do a lot of stuff in the modeling, you know, we want you, you know, for, you know, this retreat out in Alaska, we'll give you a cover, we'll do cover shoots, like, and I'm like, whatever I can do to help. And it was for kids, so that's like my soft spot. But I put out these things in the universe, like the things that I wanted. Like I wanted to model on a beach with a good looking girl. I wanted to, you know, do the cover shoots and walk down the runway and you know, be known for like having that confidence, because I was a kid that didn't have any confidence. I was a kid that, you know, thought you were either born with confidence or you just didn't have it. And so I always just put out these images of what I wanted to be and what I wanted to become. And so when they called me and were like, hey, you know, we have the opportunity for you to walk the runway, and I was like, yeah, like sure, but like, you know, things happen so fast in my life that like I don't realize they're happening until I'm in that present moment. So like I remember when I'm backstage and, you know, I have my outfit on and I'm backstage and I'm lined up with a bunch of models and my heart's going and I'm like, oh my God, like I said I was gonna do this, and now I'm here, like I'm backstage, my parents are outside. This moment. Like, yeah, my parents are outside. Things just come so fast. And it's important to just be like so present in the moment. You know, like just like soak it all up. Like, how are you feeling? Like, how is your heart beating? Like, what are the feelings? It's just like so important to be present. I think that's another thing that people have a hard time doing, is feeling being present. Yeah.
It's a classic. I made myself. I'm a boss. I'm an owner. Yeah, I paid myself.
How do you manage to be more present into your day-to-day life, you know?
To be more present, that's like disconnecting from your phone. You know, the majority, even myself, like I catch myself doing it a lot of days, but like we wake up and we instantly roll over and check our emails or check our phones, and like we're instantly into like this machine. And Like, why don't you take that first 10, 15, 30 minutes, you know, of just being with yourself before you even have any other obligations? Like, why don't you take that moment and just like realize you're alive and like, oh my God, like look at this body, and you know, the fact that I can't feel the blood going through my ear because like that's how life's tailored. Like I'm not supposed to feel that stuff. And,
really?
Like, just like anything, like you can't feel like the blood going through your veins right now,
exactly,
right? Like,
exactly.
It's just life. Like it's just normal to you. But like life's wild. If people once a day, you know, thought about the thought that we're on a rock and we're floating around in the middle of nowhere, like the things that they complain about, they'd be like, oh, this isn't a problem.
Exactly.
Like, you know, like there's way bigger things going on, and we're so small, and we're so like within the universe, we're so insignificant, and like, you know, just like go through life and like don't let things bother you. Laugh as much as you can, love as much as you can, smile as much as you can, because like you have one life, right? We don't even know why we're here.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't even know why we're here. Like we don't get it.
Yeah, man.
To be honest, like I don't get it. We were just talking about this at dinner. I was like, I don't get it. Like I don't get life. Like
what the fuck?
Why am I? Yeah, why am I here? Like why do I have a time limit?
Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, do I want to live forever? Like if there is an afterlife, do I want to live for millions of years? No, probably not. Like life's wild, and I think, you know, people would stop complaining about the stupidest stuff if they realize like none of that stuff matters. Like just live life and just like, who cares? Like shit happens. Like something bad happens. Okay, we'll move on. Like, who cares?
Yeah,
like,
exactly,
whatever.
man. Exactly, whatever.
Like,
yeah,
whatever.
exactly. And do you think that gratitude is this secret ingredient that you do have in order to feel all of this, you know?
If you are living in a state of gratitude, like regardless of what happens in your life, whether it's good or whether it's bad, like you're always grateful. Like you're always grateful for that moment.
Amen.
Like, and that's what people need to realize. Like when you have that mindset of being grateful and you have that mindset of being the victor in each and every situation rather than the victim, like Nelson Mandela said, he says, I don't lose. I win or I learn. So things happen in your life, man. They come up, win, or get knocked on your butt and learn and move on. Like that's all it is. Stop like, you know, like investing your energy in something that already happened and already something that already bad. Like you can't change it.
Exactly.
You know, we're all over, but we're just like spitting fire out here in this car.
Hopeless. This is a decade of devotion. It's hard to stop my movement when I'm already in motion.
And also life happens, you know, shit happens every day, every time, you know. What are the practical things that you do on a daily basis to feel this gratitude, you know, to live in this state of gratitude?
Yeah, so I think it's a muscle. Gratitude's a muscle.
Yep.
And so it's something that you need to work on. And I myself, I think I'm pretty grateful. I think I'm a pretty grateful dude. And so, you know, when we wake up, we list 5 things we're grateful for. We think about 5 things we're grateful for. And
every day?
Yeah, like every morning. And even like we can do, like you can do it whenever. You can do it whenever, wherever you want. Like, but like starting your day off with gratitude, I always tell people starting your day off on the right foot. And you know, I don't have a foot and I can still do it. So like you can do it. And it's a good habit to instill in you and your kids.
Yep.
And so living in a state of gratitude gives you this ability to realize that no matter how shitty you think, you know, what's going on in your life, there's something to be taken away from it that's good. There's a piece of wisdom, there's a different perspective, there's a new knowledge bomb, there's something that comes out of any situation that is going to evolve you as a human. And so you're grateful for when you're busy because you're not sitting on your ass. You're grateful for you're grateful for that challenge because you figured out the different approach to get through that. You're grateful for your mom spanking you when you were younger because now you're a little bit more disciplined. You're grateful for that car accident because now you look at life a little bit differently. Like when you can be grateful for everything, like you can be grateful for every situation, whether it's good or bad, and that goes to the meaning we attach behind things. Like I can have a tragic event happen in my life and you can have a tragic event happen in your life. I can see all the good and you can see all the bad. It's the meaning we attach behind it. And so if you're always giving yourself these disempowering attachments to things, well, you're gonna have a disempowering life. You're gonna have a bad life. If you're always just looking for the good and finding the good in situations, then you're gonna have an empowering life. Like we're sitting in this car right now, and if it started raining, we have 2 choices of way to react to it. You could be like, oh my God, it's raining.
It's raining,
Or I could be like, man, we don't gotta watch the car. The rain did it for us. What's it gonna be?
Oh man,
What's it gonna be?
That's amazing.
What's it gonna be?
Exactly.
And as parents watching this, like monkey see, monkey do. Like your kids, whether you think it or not, they're watching how you react to each and every situation, and you're cultivating their mindset. You're cultivating their mindset, and you're instilling habits through your actions and through your words and through the way you react. So like, what's it gonna be for your kids too?
Yeah.
One, I know what it feels like to be a middle school, high school kid that wants to kill himself and that is depressed and doesn't think he's good enough, pretty enough, strong enough. I've been in that situation, and in America especially, suicide is skyrocketing, mental illness is skyrocketing. Traveling all over the world, parents come up to me from every walk of life and say, my son's struggling in middle school, my daughter's struggling in high school, can you talk to my son, can you talk to my daughter?
Oh really?
Oh, that's the biggest thing I get, and that's the niche, that's the niche. That is the fact that parents are having a hard time raising kids in this world, and understanding and seeing the things that they go through like cyberbullying, whatever it may be. But it's a soft spot because like I was that kid. I was that kid, and if I had someone like me who I could watch and was like, oh my god, like look at this kid doing it, like maybe I could, you know, be a little bit more comfortable in my skin. Like if I had that example that, you know, I want to be for the kids, and so I know exactly what they're going through, and the reason why I can even hit home even more with them is it's like Charlie Brown. It's like your mom tells you to do your homework and you don't hear anything. And then your dad tells you to do your homework and you're like, nah. And then Uncle Nick comes over and suddenly doing your homework's cool. Because like it took a different person to like say it a different way and communicate a different way and break that barrier in the mental aspect of things and realize like, oh, like this is cool, like I need to do this. So like, and the other point is I'm 22. Like I'm still a kid. I'm still a kid. I was in high school like 5 years ago, whatever it is. And so like these kids can relate because I'm not just some normal dude up there talking when they can't even decipher if it's BS or not. But they see me and like you can't fake it. Like I'm talking the talk and I'm walking the walk, and like I'm confident that I'm doing so, you know.
If you could say something right now for all of these kids that are watching this video, probably, you know, what will you say to them?
You're gonna be so conformed. The world is trying to put society in a box. Here you go. You go to middle school, you go to high school, you get your college education, you pay off your debts through your job that you don't really like. They're gonna try to put you in this cookie cutter life. The same thing in middle school and high school. Like, it's gonna feel right to be in these cookie cutter groups. Like, you wanna be in these little cliques and you wanna sit with these kids in a lunchroom. I have any advice is like, be you. Like, be you, be your authentic self. Like, and when you're your authentic self, you're gonna attract the right tribe. You're gonna attract the right people. And the people that, you know, mess with you for you, they love you for you. They don't love you for that mask you're trying to put on. And all these kids are trying to put on masks and fit in, and I don't have the nice shoes, and I don't have the cool clothes. Like, forget all that. Like, the one thing I realized is like high school, like those kids that were the cool kids of high school, like they're not doing much now.
Exactly.
Like that stuff out of high school doesn't matter. Like that stuff out of college doesn't matter. After college, like, you're not cool anymore. Like, it's the real world. What are you doing in the real world? And so, like, be you, and like do what you love, and realize that like you can make a living out of your passion. You just gotta want it enough. And you know, like, it's so cliche, but like everyone says, you won't work a day in your life if you truly love what you're doing. But like, don't be afraid to like go down that path. Don't be afraid to like not become a doctor because mommy and daddy said become a doctor and they wanted you to become a doctor. Don't be afraid to like go down a different road. It's not your parents' life. It's not your friend's life. It's not your outside noise life. It's your life. This is your life. You're the only one in control of your body. You're the only one that's gonna save you. No one's coming to save you. Nick's not coming to save you. Like, no one's coming to save you. You have to do things for you. You have to make your choices. You have to implement. You have to learn. You have to evolve for yourself, and no one's going to do it for you. And if you don't realize that no one's going to do it for you, you're going to be waiting around for Superman, and he's not going to come. And then you're going to be 30, 40, and be like, wow, I worked this 9 to 5, and my life just went by. And now I have I have 40 more years, and, you know, I'm not happy with my life. Like, I'd much rather fall on my face.
Yeah.
And fail at the things I enjoy than go to work for something that I don't love or I don't support. Like, you have one life. Like Gary Vee says, like, you're gonna die.
Yeah. Do something.
You're gonna die. Like, time's running out. Like, we're sitting here and like, time's running out. Like, this 5 minutes we don't get back. We'll never get back. And so, like, are you making choices for yourself? Or are you making decisions based on other people's actions. Like, just be the architect. You're the architect of your life, but make sure you know that you're in control. You're in control. And everything that's happening to you in your life, whether it's good or bad, it's happening because of your actions and everything you led up to this point. Yeah. Life happens for you and not to you, and what that means is, like, any event in your life, you can sit here and self-reflect on any event in your life that you think was bad, and you pull one good piece of information from it, and it wasn't bad anymore, right?
Yep.
And there's always one good piece of information you can pull out of any situation. So that goes back to the Nelson Mandela thing. Like, there is no losing.
Yeah, man.
It's only winning and learning. And so once you realize that, you know, because you fell on your face a couple days ago, like, that probably happened for you, like, something happened and you could pull something good from it. Like, anything. There's everything that happens in your life, you know, you later on find out it happened for you and not to you. And that is the mindset shift of, like, are you going to be the victim or the victor? Victims of life go around and saying, oh, why me? You know, why is this happening to me? Which, I was that kid. And then I realized, you know, that I'm going to become the victor of my life. I'm going to become the victor of each and every situation. And you know, I'm going to focus on the positive, never the negative.
What made you shift your mindset to fucking dominate my shortcomings, my excuses?
I don't think I've ever talked about this, but I think in high school, I was playing the I was playing the victim mentally. Like, I wouldn't ever complain about things, but I felt like everyone was always against me. And they probably weren't, but that's just the way I felt. And I felt like, people wanted me to lose. You know, they didn't believe in me. And so I would always have that extra edge to go ahead and prove people wrong. And even, like, the modeling stuff. Like, I think the modeling stems from, like, girls rejecting me in high school. I thought I was so disgusting and so, like, that girls would never want any part of me, that I was like, all right, I'm gonna go out and be known for being sexy. You know, like, watch me. Like, you don't think I'm good looking now, you don't think what this is attractive now, my energy is attractive now, fine, I'm gonna go ahead and do it mainstream and do it bigger than anyone's ever thought I was gonna do it. And then maybe you'll think I'm cool, you know, but, like, I don't really care, because now, like, I'm doing whatever I want, right? But, like, I think everything stemmed from, like, oh, you don't think I can do that? Or, oh, you don't think I'm pretty enough, good enough, strong enough? Like, you don't think? Okay, well, watch. And then when I'm doing it, like, don't come play like Mr. Nice Guy. You know? I'm very competitive.
Yeah.
And I don't like telling, you know, like, when people say I can't do something, it's the biggest motivational speech you can give me. And so, like, I think everything stems from, like, pivotal moments. Like, my senior year, I dated a girl. She was a surfer girl. And, you know, it was a high school relationship. One day, you know, she texted me and was like, hey, I don't like you like I used to. And, like, my whole world came shattering down. And then I made that decision. I was like, well, I'm gonna look so good naked. Like, I'm gonna look so good naked. I'm gonna become a bodybuilder. I'm gonna become a model, that this will never be a problem again.
Yeah, okay.
You try to, like, go back of all the events in your life and pinpoint what pivotal moments made you do what. Okay. It's like stuff like that. You know, that girl, like, rejected me because, like, she doesn't like this. Well, now I think I'm disgusting and stuff. Well, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and you know, land a cover of a magazine. And then
use it to, like, boom.
Just competitive dude. Yeah. And I look so small in this light.
Look at it, wow, man.
I lifted it forever. A lot of rappers go broke because they got rich too soon.
We have something really special on the back.
So this is your masterpiece that they surprised me with. I've never been so surprised in my life and thrown off an event. Like, I totally got blindsided. Super emotional. So my guys, they told me I had a meeting. They said I have a meeting. Okay. And they're like, you need to stay home, you have a meeting. I'm like, okay. And I wanted to get food, and they've been pushing back my food. They went ahead and took this picture that I posted on my Instagram, and this man drew it. With pencil, right? Yeah. It was pencil, and it took 2 weeks, 10 hours a day, a lot, what, over 140 hours of
roughly,
and they presented it to me with this amazing video that made me bawl my eyes out, so I'm sitting here crying. And then they have this big gift and they unwrap it, and it is this amazing photo of my tribe, and in the background it's their some Tahiti signs, right, that symbolize, you know, the team aspect and the vibe, and it's also got my quote in there with some lotuses in the background. Unbelievable artwork that we're gonna put in our next, like, big house.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you so much.
Will you tell them about it?
I was so impacted by your message. Like you said, you know, I stumbled across your story and it completely resonated with me, you know, like, we all have so much excuses every day, you know, oh, I won't do this, I cannot do this, you know. I'm living on an island, you know, I'm stuck on this fucking island, you know. I won't be able to live my dreams, I won't be able to live my passion, you know. And like seeing you unlocked so much things inside myself, like going out of my comfort zone even more, like just being here with you today, like on this fucking car, man. This is amazing, you know. So, and like I sent your team a message on Instagram, and they responded me back, you know, and we connected like this, and we had a chance to FaceTime a couple of weeks ago in order to realize this piece for you, you know. And what stuck with me was the importance of your team, you know, of these guys, you know. So can you talk about like what, like for you, okay, what do they mean for you as a human being?
Yeah,
like
man,
their presence, you know.
I've been blessed with them, you know, as a tribe, and right now I'm not very close to my brother for where he's at in his life, and so they kind of, you know, took that brother spot over, and you know, like I moved out when I was 18, and then I moved somewhere else, and I was all over, and you know, trying to just be independent, you know, after that, and living here, like I moved to Tampa, I was living here, you know, 6 months before I made the move with them, and I met them, and they gave up everything to help travel and push my message and build the brand together. And past experiences, I have trust issues, like I watch who I work with, and I don't like to get burned, and I've been burned before, and so they know that the things I struggle with, like the trust issues and stuff, and now it's just like to have a tribe that, you know, gives up everything, and you know, right now we're super grinding, like building the speaking company, and for them to like you know, back me 110% and like whatever it is, and you know, the importance of accountability group, and not just having people that love on you, but having people that love on you but are like, yo, you need to keep going, like you need to keep pushing, like that's accountability group. Like
exactly,
if people are always loving on you, like it's not going to do anything, but if they're loving on you but also like, yo, get your ass in gear, like you got to keep going,
okay, to push
those are the type of people. And so these guys, you know, that was,
so this is Ratmir,
yeah, that's Ratmir, and that's
Don, yeah,
and yeah, so it's the three of us in the company. And you know, even in that picture, I climbed a 3-mile mountain, and you know,
in Arizona, right?
Yeah, Arizona, yeah. You know, the whole time, not one of them ever was like, hey, are you tired, or hey, do you want to stop, or anything, because it was just a sense of like, oh, we already know Nick can do this, like let's not say anything. That's like they just assumed, and that's the type of people that you need to have, is like people that just like know what you're capable of doing, and don't ask you if you're okay, or don't ask you if you need a break or to stop, because they know that you're just gonna keep going. And so yeah, super grateful for the guys in the tribe, and the way we met was just, you know, just guided. And I'm glad we have the opportunity to take over the world and change, you know, millions of lives, you know, together.
Amazing, man.
But I'm a type of pass a pussy to go home and cut a hit.
What does this picture of you three means for you?
It's just a perfect representation. We make a great team. Like we're very well balanced, even professionally. Like, you know, Don's more of the analyzer, you know, the number guy, which me and Ratmir suck at. And so he's our strength there, and me and Ratmir are the more emotional tide. Like we even analyze it. So Don's like the person that looks from like the telescope, you know, like how I was saying, like come out of your body. He looks at the situation from like, you know, above and checks it out. And so we all complement each other perfectly. So like I just, you know, I see like perfect team, you know, perfect team, and it's just it's wild, you know, it's wild that we all just complement ourselves, you know, so perfectly, and that we're all like we're guided and in the right place at the right time. Ratmir, he moved here from Russia like 8 years ago, and he wasn't supposed to come here. He was planning on going to study in UK or England. And on the ride there, like right when he was getting into the car, like he saw his friend and was like, hey, come with me, I'll buy you food, I just don't want to go alone. In that car, his friend persuaded him to move to America. Like here in Tampa? Here in Tampa? Yeah, 8 years ago. That's amazing. So I would have never met Ratmir if he would have went to UK. We would never been like changing the world. We've never been doing any of that. Wasn't that wild? Yeah, man, that's crazy. Like, what the fuck, man, you know? Yeah, like, you know, like, why, man? Why'd it happen, you know? Do you believe like in karma and like things happen the energy you put out is the energy
Yeah.
you get back. And you know, a lot of people can say, oh, that's BS. And the one thing that you can't say that's false is like, if you're in a positive outlook, if you're in a positive mindset, you're more in tune to see more opportunities than if you're like, oh, well, the world hates me and all this. You're not. You'll be blinded by some opportunities that you won't be able to see because you're blinded by like your mindset.
Yeah.
You know, and the way you're thinking. So if you're more positive and outgoing and optimistic that things are going to happen for you and not to you, like you're more inclined to see opportunities that people that were negative wouldn't see.
And this will be my very last question for you. Like, if you could see this kid who is watching this video on his iPhone or his laptop, this kid that doesn't believe in himself, you know, like, what would you say to him, like, right now, in a few words?
Yeah, that you're worth it. You know, you have what it takes. You have everything inside of you to make whatever you want happen. And like, if you ever think that you're worthless and you're not enough, like, the fact that you're a human being, like, you were the fastest sperm, like, you were the elite.
Yeah.
You were the elite of the elite, and like, and that's how you're here. And the chances of being a human being are so rare. And so just like life itself is like the fact that you got like a role to play in the game. Like you got like a character. Like, we could have been born a snail. Like,
Yeah.
no, you know, like we could have been
Or
born
a tree.
anything.
Yeah.
But we're a human.
Yeah.
And you know, we have this ability, and so each of our lives precious, and like the most attractive thing you could be is different. Like, be yourself, and realize that like when you feel uncomfortable, that's a good thing, because like, you know, after being uncomfortable comes massive growth. Like, that's where you're gonna grow as a human. That's where you're gonna evolve. Like, as a kid, like when things are uncomfortable, like do them. And like when you don't think you're ready, like do them. Like, jump into the waters. Like, throw yourselves in those waters. It's gonna force yourself how to swim. Like, you have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations and start doing things that, you know, are out of your comfort zone, so you can evolve as a human being. But just realize that like it's a marathon, not a sprint, and we're continuously working on ourselves, whether that's personally, professionally, spiritually, emotionally. Like, whether you're working on confidence, like, just like know that it's a, you know, it's a journey. It's a muscle. Like, everything's a muscle. We're just building and building and building and making ourselves better. So like, don't get discouraged if you don't wake up, you know, tomorrow and you're like, oh, I'm the best in the world. My mindset's like, you know, perfect. I have a victorious mindset. No, like, it takes times of training. And realize that no one's coming to save you. You got to be your biggest cheerleader. You got to be your biggest cheerleader, and the only person that needs to believe in you is you.
Yeah.
The only person that needs to believe in you is you. Like, you know, where would I be? You know, where would you be? Where would my parents be if every single time someone said you can't, like, we listen to them? Like, the only person that matters is you.
For the whole interview, that was straight fire.
Got it, bro.
You're such an amazing human being, and you know, I really want to acknowledge you, man, for your example, for putting yourself out of your comfort zone, and because this has changed my life. Literally, you know, you will continue to impact so much life through your journey, and that's really amazing. And like, seeing you grow as a human being, as a personal speaker, as a fashion guy right now, man, that's amazing. And I truly want to thank you, man, so much for what you, man, I love you. Come on here, man, come on here.
We got a fedora on.
Yeah, man.
Throwing out the hair. Woo. But yeah, man, grateful for the opportunity.
Thank you so
Thanks
much
for having me. Thanks for the artwork that will go up in our houses forever.
What will be the one word that will
Sum up.
perspective? Yeah,
Lifestyle perspective. That's all it is.
that's amazing, man.
That's all it is.
That's amazing.
Just
yeah.
the way you look at it.
Exactly.
You never get out of Ohio, you don't realize that there's islands in Hawaii and Tahiti that are beautiful. Like, you know, like, you don't realize things, you only know what you know. And so if you're going through the motions constantly, and the same old motions and the same old habits of life, like, you're gonna be in the same old perspective, and, you know, you're just gonna be stuck.
Oh, man.
So
Thank you for shifting my perspective, man, and your blessing to the universe, man, to the whole world, man. That's amazing.
this is wild. Universe
That's
is wild.
amazing. Guys, thank you for watching this video, and yeah, perspective.
Comment below.
Yeah.
What's your favorite knowledge bomb? See what they say.
You drop a lot of bombs like during this interview, you know.
Russ, for the sake of looking cool, I'm country hopping in the
jet, that's the visual. I feel like I'm half God, half mammal.
Bitch, I turn my life into the travel channel. I'm in Stockholm.
We heated floors in the beds with the soft phone. I'm the best out, yeah, I said it. Self-made millionaire,
You know what's up with the credits, bitch. Pretty good.
Man, that was fire,
You know
man.
what time it is? Decade of devotion. It's hard to stop a movement when I'm already in motion.
Brother, for
See how
everything.
fat I am on camera.
So much
got it,
again,
brother.
man. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. So grateful that I had the chance to meet you and be in your presence, man.
Likewise, man.
Thank you so much.
That art piece will be up in our houses till we pass. So
Thank you so much.
I'm grateful.
man.
I'm
Thank
grateful too, brother.
I'll always be here for you, and wow, just super grateful, man.
Likewise, brother.
Yeah, thank you so
Anything I
much.
can do.
Thank you, man.
You got it, brother.
Thank you.